y'all go on cruise to do that? Damn it. Oh, sorry. Hello, people, good people. Hi, good people. I feel like Red Fox on Sanford and Son. Like my glasses, I gotta have two. The glasses to see the road and to see my notes. So I'm gonna be working this live the best way I can. I just want to just update y'all. Trying to put it on cruise control real quick. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? See my notes. I just want to update y'all on the trip. What's going on, babies? Woo, Lord, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what to give y'all first. I need to give y'all the part that like kind of ticked me off, or just work my way through everything from start to finish. I'm not gonna tell you everything, but I will just give y'all details on what I am working on, and why I went to multiple states to do what I'm doing, because this is very important, you guys. And I spoke to some great people. I reached out to professionals, you guys. When I say I reached out to professionals, I reached out to professionals. And I'm gonna put it like this: I did not waste their time, because I reached into my pocket to get this time to sit down and speak to these people. You know, because you don't want to speak to people and then they just throwing your BS and just trying to get you out the face, and then nobody wanted to allow people to hold up their time, their day, especially, your business people. Going to Denver and hitting California, different parts of California, to working our way to Arizona, you guys. And you guys, like I said, I got some great information. I reached out to these people. I showed them as much as I could. I went on my pacers and we read over, motions. We read over, all these different things on all these documents that were filed. And so I let them hear different things. Damn it, y'all. There's something going on with my damn cruise control. I need my cruise control to work while I'm driving. Well, let me start out by telling y'all with my okay, first, the last person that I ain't gonna say person, people that I talked to, the stop was in Arizona, and I want to speak to different race, black and white, okay, diverse. And trust and believe me when I say our people are some stank people, our people are some stank people. I'm talking seriously, like our people. But I wanted them to be very honest with me and break everything down to me and let me know, different things. And I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm working on. Also, I'm working on some laws, okay? I'm working on trying to change laws to fit the laws for today. I'm changing yesterday laws to fit today's laws, okay? We have to know our laws. If we don't know our laws and know what's going on, they can always ambush us, because, only thing, like a lot of people that doesn't, pay attention to politics and things like that. And it's important to know what's going on with our government. Like, we just sit back and be like, whatever the hell, 11 November the 2nd, I think, is early voting for school. So this is very important, you guys, for you guys to go out and know what the schools are offering to our children. Okay, that's one of the most important things. We need to work on that. One of the other laws, and please, you guys, put stuff in the chat so I can know y'all are here because I don't want to be talking to myself. Y'all know I'm going through Black and Bill. So please let me see the chat moving, you guys, and welcome to the chat. Matter of fact, let me start over. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Texas Black Diamond ENT with your girl, Texas Black Diamond, on the road to changing some laws around here, okay? And fighting for Robert Sylvester Kelly, okay? So, welcome you all. Welcome, great minds. Welcome to the viewers. Welcome to the subscribers. You know, let me say it like the blogger be saying. If you have not hit that, like button, subscribe, you guys. Please like and share, okay? Please do that, okay? Um, I'm driving, so y'all forgive me if I'm not engaging in the conversation. I promise my father that I will drive safe. Let me start off with the last two professionals that professionals and experts that I talked to, and then I'm gonna go back around to all the other ones that I spoke to. I didn't get a chance to meet with Tom. Tom. Lord have mercy, y'all. I'm so damn tired. I'm trying to remember man's name. Tom Mesereau. I didn't get a chance to meet with Tom Mesereau because our schedules didn't meet up together. Because I'm trying to meet everybody. I'm trying to get everything done. Trying to get my notes. Trying to, learn different things. Trying to get things together. But I met with two guys. One guy, he's African American. Um, he has all different types of degrees and so many different things. PhDs and yada yada yada, as well as the Caucasian guy that I sat with. So I sat with them both, and I'm gonna tell you how they were dressed. I mean, it didn't matter though, but I just want to tell you how these guys met with me, okay? The Caucasian guy, he had on his two-piece suit, business shirt, and a business tie. The African American guy, he came in with some sweatpants and like Nike shirt. I don't know. I think he is a coach on some days. You guys, I need to pay attention to my thing. That's why I wanted to. I don't know what's going on with my cruise control. So that's how they met up with me. But I had on a blue business shirt and some black slacks with some flat business shoes on. I had my hair pinned up and I had on my glasses. Okay, so I just want to tell y'all how we were dressed, talking. I started off, letting them know who I am and what I'm doing, and I'm working on, trying to figure out like what do I need to do and steer me into the right direction to change these different laws. Okay, and so one of the laws that I am trying to come up with, and yes, I am a female, and it is what it is because I have men in my family as well. So I'm trying to work on a Woman Act law. Okay, we have with this Woman Act law, it's like when a woman intentionally try to do something to do harm to a man, to cause harm to him. Just say for instance, they have consensual sex, and this lady, just say this person rich or whatever. Like I'll just say entrapment. I'll say entrapment right now. I don't have all my notes. So let's just say a woman is with a guy. She tell the guy that she's on birth controls, or she's taking a depot shot, her tubes is tied, and things like that. Or if they use a condom and she tampers with the condom so she can purposely get pregnant. I'm talking about a Woman's Act, okay? I am, and you know, I just I'm not gonna look at it because I don't want to get distracted. And if a person don't understand what I'm talking about, then we're not talking about it. I'm not talking about the Mann Act. The Mann Act is going. I'm working on that to change the laws to for what we have today. Change the it's I'll say the old versus the new. So we need to change yesterday's laws to fit today's laws and know our laws so we can know exactly what we need to vote for, not to vote for, what we need to go and fight to change or have place. But anyway, the Women's Act law. Okay, so she purposely tries to get pregnant to entrap this man. You know, we have a lot of women that, you know, they get with a man and this man has a great thing going, and it's, you know, if I get a baby by him, you know, that's 18 to 21 months of, you know, of this man taking care of me, right? And then you might have a woman that is that sleeps with a man, and then because she doesn't get her way, she says that this man has done harm to her, to cause put criminal, you know, charges on him out of you know uh, shit, you guys, I swear. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so tired. Updating the old laws. Some of these laws we can get rid of. Some of these laws we can change, or we can fit to fit the narrative of our new laws. It's just knowing what laws is what and what needs to be done, if it needs to be changed, and why it needs to be changed. But so if a woman breaks up, have sex with a man, and they're together or they're not together, and they break up, or this man just want a one night stand, and she does something out of revenge and retaliation to get criminal charges put on a man, you know, things like that. And you know, or lie, and this person is locked up behind a lie from this woman, you know, that's something like a woman's act. You know, we're working on that, like all these different things, but we're gonna put all this try to put all this stuff together to present it, you know, the professional way. So I'm gonna be working with the professionals on this one. And so, you know, things like that. But the two guys that I talked to, we were talking about different things, and I'm going to tell you guys, I felt so uncomfortable. I knew it. I'm going through Blackenville. So, everything, yeah. So that's what we're working on. When I spoke to, well, let me start back where I was. I want to get out track. I felt so uncomfortable, and you guys forgive me. I'm in Blackenville, so you know I might go in and out. So please forgive me. That's why I was trying to wait. But anyway, the African American guy did not have a smile on his face. I know it's good to be serious, but I mean, make your sister feel comfortable. So we're talking about all these different things. I started telling him about, you know, Robert Sylvester Kelly and his situation. You know, I tried to pull out as much information as I could for the little time that I paid for. and to speak to these people. Um, okay, yeah, I just want to get it off the ground first. Stand up to be counted because I learned from these 2 years because we gonna talk about this and then this is uh, actually what been going on with our people on the YouTube streets and everywhere else when we're trying to get this movement together. But when I spoke to them, they agreed. I'll tell you one thing they agreed on, and I'm sorry, attorneys. I'm just gonna have to tell y'all. They said that y'all did some sloppy work. It was very sloppy. We talked about Robert's ability to his reading and writing skills. We talked about that. And when I make myself around again to where I was in Denver and California, we're going to talk about special need adults, okay? And a lot of people, they feel a certain way, and I've been feeling a certain way from the beginning about Robert and his special needs, okay? And so we working on that as well. But they said the attorneys did very, very sloppy work. Going over the case, they felt like that. They said that was a beatable, um, charge. They said if not, they said probably even they might could have got away with one, but not all. They said it was a beatable. It was very beatable. They did not take their time to, you know, work with Robert, have Robert to understand things. I explained to them about the COVID. I said we had the COVID going on, and I was just like letting them know all this stuff. So I was trying to, like try to make the team look good, but they said that that's not the case when you're spending so much. They said I'm pretty sure Mr. Kelly spent a lot of money on these attorneys, and they did a sloppy job. Okay, they did a sloppy job. So even filing motions, they're not filing motions on time. They're not. They say if you don't put few words in there, you better have a whole book. When you're fighting for somebody's life like that, you supposed to put everything, throw everything to that judge that you can. Every law, every this, every that. And I told him how many attorneys he started out with, how many he ended up with. I told him about the last attorney, Mr. Koenig. He came on 2 months before the trial. They really talked about Greenberg. They felt like even though they got out of the situation because they had situations with other attorneys, real professionals gonna stick by their client no matter what. They're gonna, because they want them to win. They want to see them win. And I said that too. I said that too. But it was like even though Greenberg wasn't in that case, wasn't going to represent him in that trial, he's supposed to represent him in Chicago. So they said he should have been communicating with the new attorney, to try to make sure, give him some notes and some pointers on his thoughts of the situation because he was in it from the beginning. And so they felt that like that. And so um, I told them about Nicole. I told them about like so many different things. So I'm gonna say all the professionals that I talked to from each state, they talked about Azriel. Like I think a lot of people said that, and we were saying that Azriel was important for their case, for the prosecutor's case. She was very, very important for their case because she was like considered a newcomer. She was considered a newcomer, and I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. She was considered like a newcomer to help with the statute of limitation in a racketeering RICO charge. And so um, that's the reason why. And they said that, let me see, I think I'm trying to remember how they spoke about the prosecutors and their evidence. So we went all the way back to Lifetime, okay? We went all the way back to Lifetime, all the way back to Tim Savage, all the way back to Ashanti McGee. You know, girl, I was trying to talk as fast as I could, I swear to you guys, because, you know, the people charge you about hours of stuff. So I'm trying to talk fast. I'm trying to get everything out there. You know, I had the pacer thing right there pulled out, like everything downloaded, the papers that I need them to look at. You know, I had the thing reading for me, you know, while I'm looking up other stuff. You know, they're looking at the, you know, everything, the motions and the, you know, the reactions from the judges, the prosecutors, you know, different things like that. And so we were talking about the evidence. I didn't have all the transcripts. I gave them whatever I had to give them on the transcript. And so all the way back to Lifetime. And one of the professionals that I talked to, they feel like when I told them about Azriel and her situation, they felt like she was planted in there so they could do what they needed to do. They're like that made more sense to them. Like after we just start breaking everything down, it's like they just trying to figure out, okay, how this happened where this lady was trying to commit suicide, and then all of a sudden she is up at an R. Kelly concert. All of a sudden, out of everybody, all this person that's underage end up on the stage, and her parents was there, and she ended up backstage, and she got a number, and I was telling them about the Mayweathers, and I was just trying to get them everything. So they felt like this person was intentionally planning. I said, well, she was an informant. I was like, I told them everybody that I did an interview with, what they were telling me about what this woman was doing in their house. And they felt like she was deliberately put in there so they could get this case up and going. And so they felt like surviving R. Kelly was placed there to get the, you know, to get everybody eyes, ears, and get them aware of what's going on to prepare for the Tim Savage and the Angelo Clary father takedown. And then that's when they started using the black, they don't care about the black women, you know, and things like that. And, you know, they were telling me, they was like, well, I think that's a lie because we been prosecuting and we've been, you know, getting these people that's doing harm to black, you know, black girls and women. So, yeah, I'm froze. I'm froze. Am I froze? Froze. No. Oh, I was froze, you guys. I was like, oh hell. So, um, that's the problem. That's the thing. Who is this? I just said a little bit where you can it prove them a lie? But the thing is, I'm trying to break it down the best way I can. The thing is, you can prove them to be a liar, but you gotta prove that Mann Act, and they say a lot of that stuff shouldn't have even been even in court. All the hearsay and he say and she say, and we talked about the sex, you guys. So that's another law that we're trying to change and we're working on. Is okay. Just say for instance, let's say for instance, like Faith Rogers. I just came from California. I've been in California. I've been there. No, I've been there the most. Them the more that I've been there. What 4 days? I was in California for 4 days. We just made it back yesterday from California. We hit Arizona too, but I think we made it to Louisiana around 11:08 last night. So, I want to look into the chat because I'm getting off track. I'm trying to remember everything that we talked about because I can't look down at these stuff that I'm trying. I'm just trying to let y'all know an update. Okay, so they feel like this was like the surviving R. Kelly was to have people be like, dang, all this is going on, and poison the minds of potential jurors. That was exactly what they felt like. And all of them said this. They felt like that's what that was for. And they feel like after I gave them everything that I had, I actually let them listen to Angelo Clary talk. Okay. And I had Asriel Clary's transcript. And they was like, this the prosecutors did a job. They said a job. What they did was sloppy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was so busy. I needed every piece of my time. They felt like the prosecutors as we I start buffering. Going down this country town. I wish I would have met you too, but I was on there on because I could have met with Shamika and Denver, but I didn't want to. I wasn't good time. Okay. Put a one up if y'all is still in here. Y'all put a one Maybe I should have did it when we got close to Texas. But we got to there. Okay. If y'all don't mind. I'm breaking up really bad. I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay, I got a few bars now. I should be good. Am I out of black and bill? Hmm. Oh my God. Girl, don't be asking me about the wrenches. I don't know who got a wrench and who don't. Who does it, girl? Look, okay. See, if y'all come on my live, y'all be trying to be all over the place. Y'all just be YouTube hopping. I was talking about my the channel, right? I'm sorry, y'all know I was in Black and I was finna be like, is anybody else on? I'll leave and come back, later on tonight when we get close to Houston. But talking about the rent, let me talk about that. Then we gonna get back to the nitty gritty of what I went all over the place for, because I'm trying to do some things, you guys. I ain't got time for no BS. Not this time. I do not have time for the BS. I went in and I erased all of the mods. I erased them all. You have one? I don't know. I'm on the app, so I don't know if you have yours back or not. So I erased it, because when I look into the chat, all I see is blue. And I'm like, I'm wrong about thinking that I'm assigning, people so they can just come into the chat. I want them to come because they want to be informed on some things and they like my channel. They like me, okay? They want to deal with me, and that's and it just wasn't a good look. So I was like, okay, and I was looking like, oh my God, I like her, I like him too. Oh my God, I like him. I got 4 main people. I love all y'all. But so I'm like, I don't see this person all the time. And then somebody was like, okay, won't you if it's a mod that's like modding for like almost all the YouTubers, just take theirs, because they already modding for someone, and that way, it won't be a problem. And I'm like, I don't want nobody to be, people get some attitude, like, oh, you took my rich, I ain't dealing with you no more. I'm like, damn, all it is damn rich. What the hell is rich doing? Is ain't nobody get paid for these damn riches and stuff like that, which I'm being, once I get back on my feet, after spending all this money, take it off, when you self-employed, it ain't no income coming in, you still got an overhead. But anywho, forgive me. Okay. Sweet Scape, Unique Thought do she have a wrench? Because I can't see nothing on this app here. It ain't showing me no blue. But when I go back and look at something like all this damn blue, that's just a bad look. I don't want all that blue on my damn chat. But back to business. Woo! Back to business. Let me tell y'all something. They said Freeberg and them should have done a speedy damn trial for Robert. And that's the reason why I have been having this over a year. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that. I don't even remember who all had a wrench, to be honest with you. I know the main people that be giving me information, and we talk and email and stuff on a daily. I remember them, but I swear I don't remember half of the people I erased. So can y'all give Unique Thought her damn wrench? Cause I don't know. I can't leave out the damn app. Unique Thought, don't y'all messing with me, cause I ain't did nothing to y'all. Yeah, this thing said put you in time out. Ain't got nothing about I don't say nothing about no wrenches and stuff on here, honey. I don't know what the hell to tell you. Just give me time, honey. Let me get back to Houston. Cause you're a good person. I don't know, like I was all I want my moms. I need my people to tell me who, because they know what be going on in YouTube street. I want them to tell me who the best people is, who they feel ain't for me. They don't deserve no rich, and I want them to be honest with me. Let me know. I will take them the hell out, because I don't be all on these YouTube streets. Oh, y'all can't well hell. Well, she better wait. She better wait, cause I ain't finna rich trying to look for no damn rent. Okay, well hell, what's up? They the one don't have one. I think they the one said she don't have no rent too. They the one on damn mine everywhere. So they the one should better she shouldn't even be worried about no damn rich. Cause I think they the one on everybody, a damn mind for everybody. She look, she got about 20 jobs. How many people you working for, Native One? Native One. How many people you working for? Native One got a lot of renters too. Oh, am I going fast? Damn police right behind me, fooling with y'all. Now if I go blank, y'all, y'all know that there's a popo behind me, y'all. What is the freedom? That's why I always have on my whip call. I forgot I'm in Blackville here. I'm in Blackville. And if you riding in the vehicle, them bastards ready to stop you. Oh, Lord. Let me over. Get your ass up behind me here. What's the follow me for? And he got a damn cowboy hat. This bastard got a cowboy hat. Look at his ass. A damn stare. And then in the back come out and God we trust. I know you cool people. You can. That's why I said you sure don't need your damn rent back if you ain't got one of all these damn jobs you got. I just don't want my page all lit up blue. It just make it look desperate. I ain't talking about nobody else because I ain't on y'all pages counting y'all rents now. So I don't need y'all YouTubers messing with me. All I am is just a person you think I ain't even no YouTuber. But hell. See, y'all be distracting me. That's why I don't read this damn thing. People say I don't read nobody comments, so that's why I don't read because I get off track. I forget what the hell I'm talking about. And I've been talking to some important damn people. But anywho, okay, with Asriel, and with the prosecutors, they said Greenberg, they should have went on and had a speedy trial. I said Greenberg was more concerned about the damn COVID, and that bastard was too concerned about catching the COVID. I couldn't say bastard. I was saying bastard in my head. I was trying to be professional. I said yes. I was like, his counselor, Mr. Stephen Greenberg, I said, he was more concerned about, the COVID, when he spoke with the, judge when they had their hearings and, and things like that. I was like, all he was talking about is what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. Are we going to pass notes? Are we going to have things on our ear? The COVID, we couldn't see our client. And so the professionals was like, that's your client. And you're going to do any and everything possible to do what you need to do to represent your client. And then, one was like, I would have let him go too. They was like, one was an attorney. He said, I don't speak against other attorneys, but, since you want the information, I'm just going to give you my opinion. And they said every time the prosecutors hit something or bring up a discovery, everything should have been contested, you guys. They said everything. And they felt like the attorneys that he Robert had representing him, he should have had more. And they felt like they should have had, new attorneys, like the newer, which we've talked about that before too. And I told them that I said I was even talking about, getting a, people out of law school, fresh out of law school, because they know more of the laws and they're more familiar with the laws, more updated with the laws and things like that. And they can go straight to a law and point it out that makes sense to fit their argument with Robert's, fighting to strike these motions. So they felt like he should have had a big team. And I also talked about I said it could have been the money situation. I said I know the money situation was, some of the issue. And so he said this: getting new, fresh, fresh out of the law school, those people would have probably did it for free just to get their names out there to be noticed. They would have done it for free. And I thought that too. And I was like, yeah, we talked about it. Like a lot of stuff we was talking about, and I was like, yeah, his supporters, we all talked about it. It's like, this is like y'all had more, like y'all was giving more greater details than the attorneys, and y'all not even professionals. And I was like, yes. I said, but I just feel like we're gonna be some law students in a minute here. I said, because this is crazy. But they felt like Greenberg was supposed to be the lead attorney. He was very sloppy. They really talked about Miss Nicole. I told them about Mr. Thomas, and I was like, he's great at winning and arguing. Even though with his I'm not gonna say he has a disability, but even with like his arguments and stuff, he always win. He won. He also, I told you guys, Thomas won a case. I think when it to overturn, he won. Just recently, I think he won a case to overturn, and they just kept trying to keep him in the back burner. And every time he tried to type up stuff to file and stuff, they didn't have a meeting to go over these things and look over things and verify things and make sure, if they see something that could have been added, they could have been added. The attorney told me that I spoke to in California, he said before any motion was filed to strike anything, or every one of those attorneys should have went over it. They should have had another professional to go over it and see what they needed to add to it. Like, okay, we need to add this, we need to add that. And they said it wasn't going to hurt them because they had 2 years. And they said every motion to strike that they filed should have been at least six the minimum page, because they should have put everything down that they can think of. Like if the judge said, well, this here don't work, then you got that there, And so we pulled up some of the latest stuff that were filed. They read Judge Ann response and stuff, and you guys, they was just like, you better leave me alone, Unique. Leave me alone. Cause if I go out of this, I'm gonna go black, okay? Let me see what I can do. Cause see, Unique talk about to get on my nerves, y'all. You're about to get hold of. Now you better leave me alone now, Unique dog, taking me off my. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta stay damn focused. The hell with a damn wrench right now. We talking some important stuff. Got me sweating. Hell, he said every T and should have been crossed and every I should have been dotted. They said that case. They said his case should have been beaten, but they felt like that surviving R. Kelly, and I was telling about Azrael. It just makes sense now. And when them people was professional was talking to me, and like I said, I was talking to people in different states, all the way down from Denver to California to Arizona. I'm gonna be meeting with some people here in Houston, and I had a lady to reach out to me. She's with the I think he is man. I think the NAACP, and it's about the school. So you shouldn't have reached out to me, baby. You shouldn't have texted me. And I texted them this morning. I said, hey, I said, if you want me to get out there and vote, I said we need to have a sit down and talk, because I need to talk to you about a whole lot of stuff that's going on. I want to express my feelings about what's going on in these schools with our black kids, and I ain't playing. And so they text me back. They was like they couldn't call from that number. They're just a text number. I said, well, you got my number. We need to talk. So I don't care. When these professionals and activists and stuff reach out at me, y'all gonna have to talk to me, because we got some stuff to talk about. But anywho, everything makes sense what these people are saying, you guys. And so they was like, it's like what they did within those 2 years, throwing, discovery out there, throwing stuff out there like they have different things. And it was basically a stall tactic to try to flip Azriel, because they needed Azriel. Okay, they needed Azriel to bring back, charges. You know, so. Whew, I told you guys yesterday about don't y'all mind be trying to do nothing, be messing with nobody when they come up with this chat, because y'all mad with them because y'all was in somebody else's address. I ain't got nothing to do with them other addresses and what y'all got going on with them other people over there at them other addresses. Where the hell Mr. J at? I am used to seeing Mr. J. Where the hell Mr. J is? Mr. J okay? I'm sick of this damn thing freezing up on me. I don't know what you in your feelings for. How many? Y'all better leave me alone about these wrenches or whatever the hell they is. Wrenches, damn tools. Okay. So they said a speedy trial was very necessary for Robert Sylvester Kelly. That speedy trial. It was very necessary. So he said with the prosecutors, it was just when they put up discovery and have stuff lined out, they said that was more of like a scare thing to scare up people. And I was telling them how they were throwing out, stuff at the last minute during the trial, and they said that they should have been fighting that as well. They should have been striking that. They shouldn't have allowed that to be set in front of the judge or the jurors, because they didn't have time to go over the information that the prosecutors was presenting. And we talked about that when we was listening to people read what happened in court. And I'm like, what the hell going on? And we have talked about it because it's on my page. I might have a long damn content that day, but y'all know damn well we talked about oh, Angelina must be a small town, no cows or nothing. I was thinking y'all. Only thing he can do now, I don't want to go out. CP. Back down. No, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my phone. I guess it's trying to switch back over to the right, networks and stuff, but it never buffed like this coming through Black and Deal. I apologize when I'm buffering you guys because I don't want y'all to miss key information. But as far as Robert appeal, that's one of the main things I asked. They said this is a good appeal, but he better damn well make sure he does not get bullshitting attorneys. And they ain't say bullshit, and I'm adding that. So when you hear me cussing, it wasn't said like that, okay? Bullshitting attorneys. Um, a lot of people. Let's talk about Robert's situation with his ability to read, understanding words. Um, that's a factor, you guys. We talked about that. With me, I used to work with special need adults and children, like I said before, and we call them mentally delayed. Um, I labeled Robert as a special need adult. A lot of people get mad when I say that, but you guys need to look into that. You need to pay attention, understand why Robert is not, comprehending and understanding things because if he really understood a lot of stuff that they was bringing out there, you guys, to them, and noticing the BS, the real from the BS with these attorneys as well and what they're doing and filing, and when they talk to them, and they're not explaining anything to them and breaking it down. These attorneys told me that Robert needs someone at all times with him when they are discussing any paperwork, any legal paperwork as well, and be able to explain it to him to his understanding. Because they can tell Robert something, and from what I understand, and you hear Greenberg saying, "Oh, he's very easy to work with." Robert listens to these people that he feels that are professional, like Greenberg, and tell him, "Well, you don't need this right here because X, Y, and Z," and then hit these big words on him, and he's not even understanding the words, and so. I'm gonna tell you, you guys, and I promise you this. Y'all don't have to believe me. Um, you don't have to believe me, but I spent my money, so I don't care what nobody else thinks. I spoke to um, health experts, legal experts, and activists. Three of them at the same time because I wanted to collide all of them together on the situation with Robert. And so a lot of people need to understand why I'm working on Robert's situation. We want to work on some changes in these laws, okay? So that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to try to do my best to get it going. And I will explain all that to you guys later. But I'm gonna talk. Let's talk about Denver. The three people that I met with: health, legal, um, and um, activists. Okay, civil rights activists. So I broke it down and I let them know why I felt like Robert is a special need adult. And I had clips that I had put together in which I talked about that the first year of listening to Robert's interviews and different things like that. And when I get to Houston, I'm gonna be taking this information to a college, and I want the professor and his students to evaluate Robert, look at different things, go by the information. So to Robert's family and to his friends that's been around Robert, if you guys can help out and give more information and details on Robert's actions and encounter, that will help a lot. But from people that I spoke with about Robert, going back and listening to every interview with Robert, how he responds to different things. And when I heard that Robert was sitting in a closet because he can't deal with a lot of things and he tried to keep the music out of his head, the music has taken over his mind and his brain. And when I told him about, Robert speaking on his words jumps out on him. He don't actually see these words. And that messed up his ability to look at discovery, understand these discovery, and understanding the words, the meaning of the words, when you barely had an attorney to even go and talk to you about your case. Okay? So that's another ground. That's an act. And that's something that needs to be filed on Robert's behalf. But they need to get some experts to do this as far as Robert being a special need adult. Okay? A lot of people don't want to believe it because they feel like he's this music genius. And like I told you, he didn't deal with words like that. He recorded from his mind, it's like freestyling. And the reason why he was able to do that is because his teacher, this is what we talked about, like his teacher, Miss McGlynn, because he was failing so bad in school, and he said the kids was picking at him and and different things like that. And then I listened to this woman speaking about Robert on a radio interview. Yeah, I know that the music. Yeah, we talked about that. I'm talking about behind the scenes different stuff that I reached out and talked to people, and they was telling me certain things. And I came to my conclusion. Now we just need a professional to do it. And so when I spoke to the health expert, she said, back then, especially with people of color, and I'll let you guys know this lady is Caucasian, the health expert that I spoke to. So back then we weren't key to understanding, if our child has some kind of, issue, and we feel like, oh, they just don't want to learn. They just go into school. They don't want to learn. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And some parents, they know that their child has some kind of issue, and it's more like they keep them in the room or they keep them distracted because they don't want people to notice things, right? And so back then they didn't have those schools where they evaluate kids and do, tests on these kids to, check their, learning skills and levels and things like that, like they have now. But you have to request that. And if you see something where your child having a problem understanding or coping with things and they get upset about it, you want to try to get your child some professional help. And that's what Robert was able to get back then. And so you hear the bus driver, picking at Robert. You hear the neighbors in the that's was in the neighborhood talking about him, cause saying that he's slow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gave them all the information, Jeff, and so we was trying to break it down. But Robert has to, his family, his friends, Robert, and his attorneys need to get Robert to a health expert so they can break down and diagnose him the right way. That's one of the number one things that needs to be done before anything, so Robert can get the right tools in his life to help him fight this case. So we have a lady on the radio, if y'all remember that, because I do have, have that saved, because that's the one of the main things I just noticed. It just jumped out the blue, even when he was with MGM, and I showed the health expert this. And a lot of people might not understand what I'm talking about, but some people, if you might be familiar with facial features as well. And I noticed when Robert, I showed him a picture with Robert, how he was, he was an older kid at that time. Look, I think Robert was a teenager when he was up under his mom and he had his finger in his mouth like that. And then his brothers talking about he was shy, he would turn his back. They was trying to make him, sing and and things like that. He came to the house crying, like he, telling him he couldn't read, and they was picking at him. And the woman on the radio talking about, oh yes, we know him, he's slow. And that wasn't funny. And they was laughing at that. That's not nothing. That's nothing to be, laughing about, especially with our people. I'm in a red light. Texas, you can talk to his lawyer about that. Lisa, let me tell you something. I reached out. That's the first thing I reached out to the attorney, and I'll see if I can find that email. And if I can recall, I said, okay, I think it was Greenberg or Doug. I think it was Doug. I said, you guys, I used to work with special need adults and children. And I said, and I feel that Robert needs to be evaluated. I said, because Robert is not going to understand a lot of things. He actually go by what people tell him that he feels that experts in this stuff. And he's just going to agree with what people say. And I think I said that into those words. I said, you guys going to have to get him evaluated. I said, it's the first thing that needs to be done. And I just feel like they really didn't care. Because, Greenberg, I even showed, when Robert went to court in Chicago, like everything, a lot of people might not feel certain things are important, but like I told y'all, the word is, was, what, or whatever. Look, small words. Like people like to use big words and they feel like those big words are so much and it makes you feel like you're so big. But those small little words are very important. Like even the details in Robert when he's doing his interviews and what interviews he's doing and how well he's doing interviews on certain things. So you remember when they went to the hearing, and I think that Love Lady's attorney came up there to try to say he wanted the monies back, and he's sweating like crazy. And I already told y'all that was a technique that they used too. They had that attorney to come in there, those prosecutors, to make it look like that this Love Lady didn't have confidence in Robert. She wanted her money back, and all the time she had her damn money. Y'all remember me saying that. But if you can recall, um, if you look at Robert, okay, and you pay attention to Robert, you pay attention to his looks and trying to understand things and his Greenberg. Pay attention to Greenberg. Go back and look at that. Greenberg know that Robert is a special need adult. And y'all don't want to hear it, but the truth is the truth. It's time to be real. Okay? Because people get upset. Um, she tries, people try to get upset, but the truth is the truth. And have to, you bring everything out and lay everything out on the table so this man can get the help he need, because people, that's the reason why people took advantage of him. And so you have to put everything out there. You have to understand first that Robert is a special need adult. And that's how he was so it was so easy to manipulate Robert Sylvester Kelly, because Robert wasn't understanding certain things. So if you pay attention to Greenberg, and I showed them all this. I showed them everything that I could for the time that I had, and I worked very fast. And so after the situation was over, and you see Greenberg with his no lip at the top, had his lip out, he's smiling at Robert. He gave Robert a smile, and he pet Robert like a little child. Pay attention to that, because he understood that Robert really didn't understand what was going on, and he didn't put in the effort to make sure Robert understood every word, and have somebody in there sitting beside Robert to say, make him comfortable. Listen, if you don't understand what they just said, we work for you. We understand your disability. Let us know, because we have to make sure that you understand what we are saying to you. And he has to have someone to be there, not on the attorney's side, but on Robert's side. So when they come to him with something and try to present it and let him know like the pros and cons to what these attorneys are saying, so he can get a better understanding and break it down to Robert's understanding of this, things would have went well. And this is what they told to me, And so Robert he was so locked up into not trusting people and listening to everybody. His mind just was everywhere. Okay. So he needed this one special person, a tool in his case to help him fight this legal situation. So if an attorney come his way, or if the prosecutors drop something down, this one tool will be like a dictionary for Robert. Robert needed a human dictionary, okay, with him every time somebody met with him. And he didn't have that. So I showed them the MGM, the facial. I showed them all the different interviews. And so the expert, when she looked at the interviews, she saw how comfortable Robert was when it came to music. And so I told her, I was like, well, I said, to my knowledge, and I said, I don't have all the information on that. I said, but I think I know this. And I said, and I should know this. Robert dropped out, but he continued to work with Miss McGlynn with the music. So he adapted to the music, and it was a craft that he was proud of, because he was able to master that craft. So that's something he took a hold to and grabbed a hold to and made it his comfort zone, this music. And a lot of people don't understand with music and special need people, music helps them in therapy and everything else, and it helps them to learn. And even with kids, like kids growing up, and you trying to teach these kids, the music helps them learn, like even with the ABCs, the alphabets, to wash your hands and things like that. And so that's Robert. So speaking to people that was in his life, and I asked him certain questions, and I was telling them why I'm asking these questions. So when you hear Robert speak, and he give you one of them great quotes. Robert was learning stuff from other people that was around him, movies, things that was said on TV, and things like that. And he used things in the life to build and craft the music that he created. Okay, so Robert was proud that he was able to master something, and so his music became that. So he became obsessed with this music, and that music was stuck in his head, and that's all he knew. Okay. So now when we're working on that, I'm gonna tell you. So that's what they told me. It was like, he'll it's something, he'll be a scene on a movie, and then next thing you know, he's been used that for some kind of quote, or things like that. So if you break down all his um, if you break down all his interviews, and I even told them, I showed them that interview he did with the guy that asked him about the teenagers, and everybody knew exactly what Robert was trying to say, but Robert didn't know how to ask the question. He didn't know how to ask the question because he didn't want to be a liar. Because yes, in our mind, but not Robert's mind, the answer could have been like, no, I don't engage with age girls. I see them I can, yeah, I see them. I'm in another small town. I'm in Clan Nation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just what's up to everybody in the chat. I am pausing because I was at a few bars and I seen I was moving like a robot and I was buffering. Okay, so back to Robert. Um, we knew how to say it, like, oh no, but I do talk to legal age teenage women, 18, 19. So when Robert, bent over, Robert just trying to understand, you see how he leaned his head and stuff like that. Wait a minute, like, what is he talking about? Because now, if I say I don't like talking to teenagers, then I would be lying. Because if you listen to Robert is just straight up about his situation. He's straight up about it. And they took it and they ran with it. Oh my God. All he had to do is like, no, I don't like talking to no teenager. When the question should have been asked, do you have you messed around with any underage girls? And his answer would have been no. But 18, 19, even 17 is legal in certain states. And that's another thing that we're working on. We're trying to make it one age statewide, because you're not going to be doing this man act thing, So that's what we're trying to work on too, trying to make the consent one age statewide. And if y'all understand what I'm saying, can y'all please let me know? Because I just don't want to be in here talking to myself. Okay? because I did a lot of traveling, talking to a lot of people to try to get everything that I need to try to get this done, and trying to change laws and make laws make sense, and for us to do what we need to do to understand the law so we can fight our ass off about these laws that they made to keep us locked in prison and get us locked in prison, because a lot of laws doesn't make any sense. Okay. So if you understand, like his interview, and if I want everybody to go and look at, look at Robert's interview. Kills remind me of Michael Jackson in regards to them really not having much a childhood. He didn't have a childhood, and so I want y'all to understand this. And it is what it is right now, so it has to come out. And I'm not trying to put down no one, no family member. I'm not. This is a man's life, okay? So we have to be real here. We have to be real. And to his family, this is nothing to belittle you guys, to belittle the family, to embarrass the family. But right now, we have somebody that's locked up that needs help in both situations, on both situations. Ask that tap ask question, would you mean by teenagers? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what he said when he asked. That's why I was showing them those, and so that's what the lady was saying. It was like, I was breaking everything down to her. I was showing the interviews and stuff. She was really, really looking hard. She was really looking into it, and I pray that she goes in and do something, research and doctor everything down, and then make this a project for her. So I pray that this professional health expert does that, and that's what I was actually doing, and praying that they grab this and be like, this is something very interesting, and this is what we should work on. So I'm gonna be bringing it to a professor in Houston also. So she noticed how he lights up. They notice how he lights up when it comes to his music, how he can break the music down to a T, because that's what he's an expert in, and that's what that's why it's not a problem for him with that, because he took that and he mastered it, and he made it his, and he was finally excited. Speaking to the expert, she was like, this Miss McGlynn with the music gave him hope. It gave him hope and made him feel good about himself. Because people was picking at him, people was bullying him, and things like that, and bothering him and making him feel, low, and in this music he was able to capture the attention of people, and they started clapping and praising him, and that's why the music became Robert Sylvester Kelly. The music took over Robert Sylvester Kelly because it was something that he was proud of, and it made people love him, like him, care about him, want to be around him, and he felt special with that. And this is what she said, but she said big words. She said big words. And so, I'm trying to figure out how to, I don't know how to do this. I just brought everything out to the table. I'm going by what 3 people in his life said. So this is something that I brought up, and it can cause a person to be become the be born special needs, and that is same blood, and I just keep put it like that. It same blood. So with that. So with the interview, I showed them the interview with Gail King. I showed him the interview with the guy that was asking about Robert with that situation. I showed them the interview he did in Africa. I showed him the interview he did in UK. I showed him the interview. I think it was 2020. He did it on or 60 Minutes. It was one of those. So I showed him like different interviews with not talking about the music, but talking about his legal problems, his life, and things like that. And so they asked me the question about his mother that was deceased. I showed them certain clips, with him talking about his mother, and different things like that. And so when speaking to the health expert, and I told her what somebody said, what are y'all talking about in this chat? Y'all better be listening to me. Anyone who knows someone who's a little slow, knew they are the first to forgive someone who, yeah, thank you. I'm glad people understanding what's actually going on. People don't want to hear the truth, but if we would have been real with the truth, and when I was trying to tell everybody, and people upset because this is R. Kelly, he the king of R&B, don't embarrass him, don't be trying to make him look like that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Y'all should be proud of him because he achieved some things that a lot of them couldn't do, and he can, people can see this that has these situations that Robert has, and know that they are able to achieve things, and this will inspire someone like Robert to keep going and not let their disability stop them. So I'm like, so what are you upset about because I mentioned special needs? That should have been the main thing we were talking about. So I'm going to tell you what someone told me. And so I'm hoping a family member or some family members can call me or text me or email me and let me know if this situation happened, if it was true. But somebody that was around Robert said that Robert said that he overheard when he was younger his mother and her friends talking, and that they told his mother, Miss Joanne, that they told her, your son is slow, your son got some problems. And as a mother, you be in the you want to defend your child, and you're not gonna be like, no, you ain't gonna do that route. But he overheard them saying that, and she told them that's the reason why I love him the way I do. So if this is true, you guys, it needs to be known. Okay, so I told her about that. So so the person that told me that Miss Joanne's friends was telling her that Robert was slow and things like that, and she know it and stuff like that, and she like, that's the reason why I love him so much. So she was telling them no matter what Robert's disability, I love him just the same, and I love him more. And so she listened to him speaking on the alone moments with his mother, right? He would say, my mother would walk me to school. And this is a long time that she has with Robert, right? So you would wonder why is she only taking him to McDonald's and not the other kids? So I started thinking, because I'm like, yeah, you would you would get the ones that need the help the most, and you would try to be there a little more for them. But you see, the other kids are able and capable of doing things without your assistance. And so she took him to McDonald's and made it their special place where she's able to talk to him, she's able to nurture him, and make this his. Okay? So that's why he loved McDonald's so much. Why these people with this McDonald's stuff is stupid. Okay? And this is where he spent the time with his mother. So that was his special place with his special loved one, a person that gave him unconditional love. Okay? Unconditional love. She gave it to him. And she walked with him, she talked with him. And then that's when she was like, you know what? Let me. And as a mother, and not knowing, how to cope and deal with a special needs child, you do what you can. And she, she sung, and he was enjoying listening to her sing. He was enjoying the music. And so she took that, she saw that. So that's why she worked harder with Robert, with the music, had him singing certain songs. Oh, shut up, Mr. J. I'm being real here. So we have to break this down, you know. I can't read. She thought, no. So look at a kid that went through everything he went through. I told him about the situation where the kids were trying to fight him. They would bully him. I told him about his friend. Um, Cause somebody put the friend name that drowned, cause I had her name and I talked about her and I named it just like that. But y'all, I'm so damn sleepy. Um, Lulu. I told him about the situation with Lulu. I don't know if nobody else don't lie, but I don't care. I know I don't care. I care. I don't like to block nobody else's content, but I don't want to, be interfering. But I wanted and wish there was more people in here to understand what we got going on with Robert's case and with Robert himself. So yeah, I had said it. I got it in my head. Though I said I knew it was gonna pop up because I was talking about it, poor Lulu. So I told us about the situation um, with Lulu, the bullying, and I'm like, I said, to my knowledge, how she ended up in going down the stream, it was some bullies, trying to fight him and picking with him, and she ended up being, knocked in the water, and he couldn't save her, and he watched somebody that really cared about him float down the stream, and then ended up finding her, to be deceased, and that's trauma. That's trauma. And so I broke it down to her. I told her about the situation with the neighbor. I told her about the situation with a family member, and that's also trauma. Um, he didn't have uh, anyone after his mother in his life to try to come in and be that protector of him. I don't know if Miss Joanne, told the brothers, told the sisters, told the family, hey, look, Robert is a special child. And you guys be careful with him because he's fragile. I don't know if she told them or not. And this is important. Okay. Y'all can't hear nothing, but I don't know what to tell you. He always acting up. So you still can't hear me? Well, y'all can't hear me. Please let me know, because I don't want to have to go back to what I was talking about. Okay. Just every now and then, Ma, just let me know if something's strange going on with the chat, or if you can't hear me that way. I don't want y'all to miss out on anything, because this is important. I spoke to professionals, okay? I spoke to professionals, okay? And so, oh, Lord. So I'm working, I'm talking about Robert right now. Oh, so Choke No Joke is live. No wonder. Hey, Choke No Joke and everybody else. Well, y'all know I don't care. You can always play back. You can always play back. I don't try to get on here for all this. So, I'm doing me. There's no sound. How the hell? Go out and come back. Oh, Lord. Okay. Can you hear anything? Can you hear anything? What y'all talking about? Somebody saying no sound, but what are y'all talking about? Y'all confusing me. Y'all confusing me. There's no sound. Oh, oh Lord, y'all. Y'all, please don't confuse me. Maj, just let me know what stuff going on strange, because it's like, good Lord. I think people come here trying to mess with me, quit messing with me when I'm talking some serious stuff. But anyway, I don't know if Robert, uh, family members spoke on this. It was very important. And I even showed the clip of the brother on Lifetime. And I gave my uh, opinion on what he said, because we already know how people edit it, chop and screw, and make it to be appear to be something that it really wasn't. And when Bruce said, my brother can't um, deal with that. He can't deal with being in there. And it was something to that fact. Y'all remember when Bruce said he can't handle that. Basically, Bruce was trying to tell him that Robert is a special need person. Lifetime chopped it up just like the DAs did, to cater to what they wanted people to interpret out of that bull crap that they filmed that they did. Let me see what else. I told about the him and Lulu, the bullying and different things like that. I told them about Robert sleeping under the bench, going out singing to try to make money. I told him about his financial situation in his life as a child, that they, grew up, they was moving from projects to project. The shared bagel with him and his mother. So that right there showed you that, she just tried to take him somewhere where he could have a peace of mind and have a special day with him. And so they only could afford that bagel and that coffee, and they shared the coffee. I show her the clip where Robert and people said made it like it was a problem thing, and tried to make it look like Robert had really had a sexual problem, when Robert said he twisted the cup, and he put the cup to with her lipstick to the lip, and that he wanted to marry his mother. And the expert told me that's not a sinister thing. That was Robert wanting to keep that special person close to him because she was special to him. It wasn't anything to the fact to being like a nasty thing. She said he wanted his mother close to him, and everything that she had, he wanted it close to him. That's even sharing the cup with the lipstick and wanting to marry her to bring her close. And if you see Robert talk about it, he talk about it with joy. And people look at it like this man is one sick person because they don't understand his special needs. They don't understand that, and they took it the way they wanted to take it, and that wasn't cool. So we talked about that. We talked about the interviews. So I showed her. I think the last interview that she looked at was Gayle King's interview. She looked at that, and she looked at Robert's body language. She looked at how he placed. She went by his age. She asked his age. I gave her his age. And so y'all let me know if y'all in here, because I don't see anything. I don't know. I don't want to just be talking. So she asked me Robert's age. I gave her his date of birth. And then she looked at his body language, his activities. It wasn't nothing like that. It was close relationship with his mother. That's what I'm saying. And so people took it and made it sinister to Robert. I understand y'all probably, back and forth, and y'all trying to navigate between me and Mr. Choke, trying to navigate between me and Mr. Choke. But I'm going to keep talking, and y'all can always rewind it back. And so she started breaking it down. She was breaking it down. She said when Robert scooted up on to the chair, he wanted to make sure he understood like what she was saying, and he didn't want to miss a word that she was saying, because in his mind the music was it takes over his mind. So he didn't want to mess up this interview, and he wanted to get it right. But she didn't sit down with him as a interviewer. She sat down with him to cause chaos and havoc in that interview, because she knew by looking at Robert, looking at his body language, because she said journalists are also trained. That's what she said. They're trained to know personal reaction and what you need to do and say to get a reaction from them. And that's why she sat down and had to talk with him before they did the interview. And also being said, the legal, the attorney that was sitting with us as well didn't understand why Greenberg wasn't sitting right beside Robert during that interview. I told him about the Daryl Johnson, and I told everybody about that. I even showed them his the stuff he was charged with in Houston. So they just looking at this case like something is not right, and it's gonna take the right person to file something, to have somebody bigger the higher law to look into this case. So the legal expert said they don't understand why Greenberg, and I told them what Postman went down on that. Greenberg went in there when they were sitting down before the cameras went going. He was in there then, but he left and went across the street, and he was talking to DR. I don't know why he tried to keep DR from coming to that interview. So those are something, a red flag, and you need to question yourself on that. And when I seen Daryl jump up and he looked at the camera crew, and y'all go back and y'all look at that interview, put it and freeze it. Daryl Johnson, when he went over there, he pat Robert on the front of his chest. He looked at the camera crew and he shook his head with a laugh. So I said they knew what they were doing, because see, when Cash Jones said what she said, and I saw that, I said, I see some BS in this. There's some BS. But anyway, back to the expert with Robert's body language. And she said to me, and you know, a lot of people might be offended on this. They might get offended, so it is what it is. His action and his body language, from him scooting up, trying to understand what she was saying, his facial expression, him leaning into her, just like, what is she talking about? I need to understand what she's talking about. And when he was saying, I didn't do this stuff, how he was saying, way past, I'll be crazy to do stuff back in my way past. You know, she was just breaking all that stuff down, guys, and I was just looking at it too. And so she's like, so you see how he put his hand in his face. She said that is an action of a special need adult. She said Robert was acting in a, like he was a grown man in a 6-year-old to a 15-year-old male shoes. Now, this is what she told me. And if you don't like it, I really don't care. That's what I paid them for, so they can tell me what I need to know, so Robert can go and get these people to diagnose him and tell him what they see in it. You know what I'm saying? So she said Robert performed under a 6-year-old and a 15-year-old male. And she said a woman is more mature than a guy. So she said, like, just say for instance, if a woman is 16 years old, her mind frame is up to like a 21-year-old or something to that fact. I hope I got it right. And she said a man, just say a 16-year-old, he's his mind level when maturity is a 13-year-old at the age of 16. So she was breaking stuff down like that to me. Johnson was definitely laughing. He was laughing. And so, okay, what else? So the face and the hand, his body language, and his performance, performing in that interview. So she broke it down. And at the end, you know, because I showed a whole lot, I just gave y'all a little example. This woman herself diagnosed Robert as a special need adult. Okay? Special need. You hear me? So, okay, let's go to the legal expert. When they were speaking on the prosecutors, they spoke on the prosecutors, and they just feel like all this stuff was planned. They feel like this stuff has been planned for a long time. And so Let's see. Um, okay, so with the legal expert talking about the prosecutors, they were throwing so much stuff out there, and they say a lot of people don't doesn't understand. They can talk a mean game. They can give the grand jury just a little bit, just to make it look like it's something that's really not. And it doesn't take much to get a indictment, okay, and to convince a grand jury, convince the grand jurors. They felt like the defense team did not fight these motions, discoveries. A lot of this discovery should have been thrown out. It really wasn't discovery. They said it was just a bunch of BS. And I wrote it down. It's a tactic that they use. Oh my God. Hold up, y'all. It's night now. I don't know who got on the stuff beside me. I'm froze. It used to be the case. Now you get 50. You're a woman that act they yeah, you know, I'm froze. Okay. I still froze. My granddaughter is 11. She told me before the court trial was over that he wouldn't get a fair trial. They are treating him bad. Okay. Am I still freezing up, you guys? Don't go out. Come back. Okay. So let me try to put this light on real quick, you guys. So, the father's coming out. Okay, so the father's coming out. Lifetime docu of lies. Um, a bunch of interviews, the media, and things like this. So they said with the jurors, this is what the prosecutors were making sure happens. My mind, my mind, my mind made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. So my mind is made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. So that being said, their minds were made up. So there was no need to confuse me with the facts that you bring. And this is what the prosecutors did. They didn't bring them the facts. Only thing they wanted to do was keep their minds made up, and they was not going to confuse the jurors with the facts. Okay. So Azriel, her deal was to come in and put the nail in the coffin because they needed something fresh. They needed something updated. And in with the case and reading her deal, and they was reading the prosecutors' questions to Azriel Clary. They needed her to say that Robert offered her to come on the tour with him, but in fact, it was the parents offering this to Robert, and the his defense team did a piss poor job into proving that because Azriel didn't have proof that Azriel nor her parents had proof that Robert asked them to allow her to come in there because a lot of stuff was he say, she say. And when the attorneys with his counselors didn't come back and say no, it was her parents that offered to, to let her do that because she could learn a lot from you on that. I told them about Cheryl Mack. I told him about the Mayweather. I told him about all these different things. And so with Jeronda Johnson Pace, I told them about the fake ID. And I told them about another legal team spoke to me about Demetria Smith role. Demetria Smith role was to make sure that the jurors understood that Robert was the one that did that fake ID for Jeronda Johnson Pace, and that this is this is a habit of his to bring out false documents to do illegal things with underage females, and they did not. His attorneys did a piss poor job in shutting that down, because we know as his supporters that Robert didn't even know this woman. She went into the courthouse with a fake ID to go to a 2008 trial as a crave exotic fan. So we know this. We know that there was a witness that was actually there, and they did not go in. And Greenberg was right there. Greenberg was has pool. He could find out how far back they can pull up, cameras to show this woman showing this ID during his trial. There's so much footage during this trial, and I'm pretty sure for a fact, and even the legal team told me this, they said that was a high profile case, and they know that they still have security footage of people in and out of their trial, but they probably got rid of it because they don't want to look bad either. Okay? But they don't understand why they didn't have that subpoena, and then to see the person that actually checked her ID. And when they said that, when they read about, what the judge Ann was saying and these prosecutors were saying with Jeronda Johnson Pace, that he had her there holding her by her wheel and things like that. In they said his team could have ate that up and shut Jeronda Johnson Pace all the way down, because they said with Jeronda Johnson Pace, you guys, damn it, I am stuck in some traffic and I get the help. Jeronda Johnson Pace case could have been thrown out, could have been shut down right then and there if they had the witnesses, if they had the information from the trial. And they were saying something about they should bring up the trial, but the prosecutors eased that Robert's past trial into that case to that New York trial. They was mentioning the trial, but my thing is, you can mention a trial, but not let them know what the trial was about. And I'm pretty sure they knew it's all on the news, and them people were sitting there, them Jews acting like they didn't know shit, and they knew everything that was going on. So with Jeronda Pace jumping over the gates, security coming out there confronting her, that was that right there, the legal guy said, was one of the things they could have used to break this down. So if he had her locked up against her will, had her there and was engaged in sexual activities with her, why did she have to jump the gate, and why did his security had to intervene? So where is the surveillance camera on that? Because I told y'all that way before it came out in trial that Jeronda Johnson Pace jumped over that man's gate. And people talking about, I didn't know what I was talking about until after the trial started. Like, oh, you're right. Okay, I ain't trying to look up nothing and say stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about. But But they said that was one of the things that witness Kiona and the Rhonda Johnson Page jumping over the gate. They did not use that to their advantage. They said a little bit about it, like, oh, I proved that she jumped over the gate, but they should have drilled that and made it shown that this woman was a deranged fan that was craving for Robert Sylvester Kelly. That she jumped this man's gate. They had the security had to come and stop her. So if she was in this man's house and she was having sexual relationship with him, why would she need to jump the gate? And why would they interfere with her jumping the gate? Why would she sit out there, just sitting there and going back and forth to his house, driving back and forth to his house, running into his gate? Those are things that prove that this woman was a damn deranged fan. But they, the expert said his defense team allowed the prosecutors to use that to their advantage, and that's the reason why the prosecutors put that out there on the table, because they wanted people to know, that this Azriel Mama did this and Azriel Mama did that, but because they knew that didn't make a difference, because they knew that the parents were not even going to be subpoenaed and wasn't going to be up there to be cross-examined or anything. So they were allowed to use those things to their advantage. All they needed was 3 things to come out of Azriel's mouth: that he offered her to come on the tour with him, that he performed sexual encounter in Miami or Orlando with her, and she traveled from the expense of Robert Sylvester Kelly. And they had the defense team had many tools, you guys, to tear down these women. Okay, they had many tools to tear down these women. Even with Faith Rogers, they said even with the law, and I'm gonna tell y'all about this law here too. I'm working on that. With that. We're trying to work on this. So I'm gonna tell you what we're working on, then I'm gonna tell you what the expert said about Faith Rogers and what the team should have done in her situation. And if you listen to the prosecutors, when they ask these women the question, you guys, they asked them this: did you have any feelings for Robert? Did you care about Robert? Did you want to be with Robert? They trained them and taught them and coerced them into saying no. I didn't have nothing for him. I didn't feel, they wanted the that was part of him manipulating, coercing, and forcing them to do things that they didn't want to do because they didn't have no feelings for him. Okay? But why the defense team didn't show Faith Rogers text messages where she said that she loved Robert because she manipulated Robert, and she did some coercing. And they said with the law, with the disease, they said one thing that they could have shut that down is by asking Faith Rogers, did you ask Mr. Kelly to put on a condom? Did you ask him to put on a condom? And they could have they could have been animated, because that's exactly what a courtroom is. You have to be animated. You have to, like they do with the black men walking the street. You just have to fit the description, and that's what they supposed to been doing. They supposed to fit the description of what they was trying to bring to the jurors, and they wasn't animated in Robert's fight. So They should have asked her, did you ask Robert to use a condom? And if you asked him to use a condom, did he refuse to use that condom, or did he put on a condom and did he take it off after the fact? Did he take it off and said it wasn't comfortable? Um, did you say you asked him for a condom? Okay, you asked him to put on the condom, right? So if she face said yes, I asked him to put that condom on, and he said he wasn't comfortable with the condom. So you felt uncomfortable by asking him to put the condom on, but you still had sex with him. And that right there would have brought attention and made the jurors think, well, yeah, why she didn't use protection. They never brought protection up, you guys. And that was something, the expert said that should have been brought up. And so with the law, with a transmitted disease, because we talked about that, and I said I feel like people need to be, responsible for themselves, because this right here is making them feel like they can just be play Russian roulette with their bodies and hold other people accountable for their actions. Now, if somebody was forced, raped, or something like that, or if the man put on the condom and they purposely know that the condom broke and then try to put a fresh one on there, and then something happened, then yes. But when if a female have intercourse and they are a man with whomever, and they don't try to use anything to protect themselves, and they end up getting an STD, they shouldn't put it off on the next person, because that person didn't even try to protect themselves. And that's what protection is anyway. And we're taught to use those type of things to protect yourself from STD, right? So those are what we're trying to do, to change those laws with those STD, misdemeanors, because you want to push people to go out there and protect their bodies. So we're trying to call it the seatbelt law. I'm froze again. So this is what you call, we're trying to call it the seatbelt law. So you are responsible if you're not disabled or you're not a child that's able to put that seatbelt on. You need to be able to use a condom or protect your own self in a situation. So those are some of the laws that we're working on there. So the jury didn't go through all because I just read to you what they already painted in the juror's mind on that. But see, when the prosecutors did what they did, only thing they can remember is a man having consensual sex, in their mind, and into the normal person mind, into the traditional person mind, he was having ugly sex, and to them that was disgusting. That's all they was hearing in their head. And so they say you can hear a person screaming and arguing. So that's what they hear in their mind. So everything that the prosecutors wanted to do, they did it. And his team allowed this to happen. His team allowed all this stuff to happen because they said a lot of this stuff could have been thrown out. And they even brought up the case with Bill Cosby. So they would bring up the latest cases. They brought up Bill Cosby case. He brought up what's the damn man named Harvey Weinstein. They said this man had over 100. I think they said 100 women saying that he did something to him, and they knocked it all the way down to one person, as well as Mr. Cosby. And they said they couldn't even knock out one of these accusers. They did a piss poor job. So good night, y'all. not saying good nights. I was just saying, but because my belief is the Jews would compromise, obtain it, and pay it off. Well, I just said this, right? This is the jurors. This is the people that paid attention. These are Donald Trump like type people, you know. These are the people that had their minds made up when they watched the Surviving Lives, when they listened to the women, and you know, and things like that. When they listened to the Gayle King interview, my mind is made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. So that's what that is. My mind is made up. Don't confuse me with the facts. But bringing up a condom, this woman wanted to have sex. This woman was willing to have sex with a stranger, and stuff like that. So they said when you know, and I'm not knocking Mr. Cannick, because Mr. Cannick only can do what he can do. And like I pointed out to these experts and stuff, and professionals, I was like, look, I said, if you listen to Mr. Cannick, it's like he's just trying to go with the flow. He only can do what he can do, and he only can break it down to his know-how, because he didn't have everything. So when Faith Rogers said she was flying back and forth, that's when they should have hit her with, after asking her about the condom. Okay, so you had unprotected sex with a stranger. You said you didn't like him. He intimidated you, but yet you was flying back and forth as an adult that was, you know, sound mind and body, living with her parents, and you flew back and forth out there. You went to see him multiple times. Y'all talked on the phone. You were sending him videos. You were sending him text messages of your body. You were showing him your new breast that he paid for. You know, so you didn't have any feelings for him. So can I say to you, ask you this question? Were you around him for his fame and his money? That could have put a question mark in the juror's head. You know, even with, let me see. What else with Faith Rogers? I told him about what Faith Rogers, I pointed out Faith Rogers saying, the prosecutor saying the pictures that they showed of Faith, gosh, I hate this freaking road construction. Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to see what the pictures that they showed, and Faith said that Robert took those pictures and recorded her. There was a video that Robert recorded of her. They had already had proof. I'm froze, damn it. They already had proof that Faith sent those to Robert. So why did his defense team didn't go back and counter and argue what the prosecutors asked her about that? They could have showed, they could have been like, okay, this is what was shown to show proof that she was having a consensual relationship with Robert. And this is not the full picture of Faith on this picture. This is not the exact um, um, exhibit of this text message and this video that Faith sent herself to my client Robert. What they are showing you is something that a friend tried to show half of a picture. So I want to put this into evidence. The full picture and the full video of Faith Rogers showing it being sent to her and not Robert sending it to her. So again, they would have caught her on the lie, but they let that slide. They allow something that Faith Rogers sent to Robert to let the prosecutors use that as Robert was doing that. So they tried to show the jurors like, okay, this is what he do. He record these women, he take pictures, naked pictures of these women, and he intimidate them and tell them that he's gonna embarrass them by showing these pictures. When it's showing right there that she sent that to Robert. Robert didn't force her, he didn't make her. So if they showed that whole conversation, all those the conversation between Robert and Faith, it would have showed that it was her pushing at Robert, trying to get him to answer the phone. Why you ain't calling me? Why you ain't texting me? Smiling, showing her new boobies, and display the whole picture, the exact pictures. His defense team should have said, now this is the exact picture of Faith Rogers. Now, that is a still cutout picture of a video. This is the video that Faith Rogers sent to my client. He didn't call her. He didn't text her and ask her to do it. She did it, and she's smiling while she's doing it. They could have put more questions in the juror's mind, but they did not execute, and they did not fight for Robert like they should have. I'm just gonna say minus Mr. Cannon, because he came in at the last minute. He came out. He came at the last minute. Okay, so what else? No, that was a missed opportunity with Faith Rogers. I may be wrong, but I don't think it would have made much. It would have made a difference, because it would have put that information out there. Yes, the jurors was already tainted. That was a fight too. They talked about that as well. They could have talked about this wouldn't have been a fair trial for Robert. They could have forced him to move his trial, even to somewhere where people is not like always on internet, always on TV, and things like that, and stuff like that. But like I said, they already did what they needed to do. But what the experts were saying, they just didn't put up a fight. Robert and Jack Johnson's story are some similar. It's scary, yeah. Even though that's what the legal team said. When you pay your team to perform for you and do a job for you, they supposed to go out with a bang. Even going against the attorney said, even going against the odds of the situation, they supposed to be giving their all that they have. And I'm gonna say this here about Tom. Tom, shout out to you. You tried to present things, and I'll just say alleged, Nicole shut it down. Okay? She shut it down, and she kept that man away from Cannon. And the Cannon, if it's a lie, please let me know. And I just say alleged on it. But uh, uh, that man Tom is good at getting things together as far as um, damn it, overturning stuff. Okay, Tom is good at that, and he did it before. They just didn't allow him to do it. So I told him about Nicole. I said, people was telling me about Nicole. Let me go out. Come back in. I was telling, people were telling me about Nicole, and I was feeling a certain way, about Nicole. Y'all, I am pushing this damn thing, talking to y'all. Lord, please don't let me get no ticket. Okay, let's see. So when y'all say it wouldn't have made a difference, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and don't take this to heart. I wouldn't want no attorneys like y'all to say it wouldn't have made no difference, because if I'm paying your ass, you better be turning down flips. You should have been turning down flips. You better be turning flips and walking on that damn ceiling for me. I don't care what difference. I don't care what odd it made. Okay? And so, speaking to the experts with Robert in the breakdown, his him being a special need adult, the judge doing what she was doing, the prosecutor throwing everything out there in the but the mamas and daddies, just fabricating things. They really wasn't proving their case, but they proved to the jurors. They said that's all they needed to do. They might not have proved it to us and nobody else. All they needed to do was prove it to some already jurors that was already persuaded and tainted and taunted and all that good stuff. They said Mr. Kennick did good by bringing up with the DA about the DAs talking to the Jane Doe's so many months, meeting with them, going over things, and also leading the witness and allowing the judge allowing this to happen. And she was saying, well, okay, it might be a little leading. And when Judge Ann said it might be a little leading, that's when Cannick should have kept pushing it, because he should have said, no, we're not even going to allow a little leading in this case. My client is fighting for his life. And he should have said that to her. He should have, Cannick should have said that. I feel like I told them I feel like she was sent in after listening to a certain thing, and what people was telling me that was in the circle. I feel like she was put in to be that distraction and to go in and intimidate his mind and his weakness for a woman. And we also talked about that. I have to show you the lady that has a sex addiction, and that doesn't make a person do harm to anyone because they have a sex addiction. You can have a sex addiction. Lord, addiction. No, let me get it out, y'all. Y'all, I'm tired too. You can be addicted to sex and have a sex addiction and be married and want to have sex with your wife or husband every day, all day. And it doesn't make you want to go out there and take nobody's, body because you have that. Because there's a female, I think she's a singer, and she was addicted to sex. And she, I think she went to counseling or something. And it was a movie role that they wanted her to play, and she didn't want to play it because it was more like her and what she was experiencing and being addicted to sex. So people knew that. So we gotta be real, you know. Hell, I was addicted to sex. Hell, I had to have it all the damn time. And that didn't make me no monster, and then it make me be somebody that was doing something wrong. I wasn't going out there trying to take sex. I just needed my sex. I just needed to have my feeling, you know. So okay, Nicole, I told them about Nicole, and that's where having Robert to have an expert in, having a expert in to work with just Robert on breaking things down and making sure every person meet with Robert. That person is there to sit beside Robert and go over everything that they talk about. From what I hear, allegedly, Nicole was put in there to go in and get into the mind of Robert Sylvester Kelly and tell him certain things and try to remove certain people and stuff like that, okay? Because he was more prone to listen to a woman and than a man. And so with Nicole, what happened to the evidence that the prosecutor said? They didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have it. And that's what this expert was saying, that they could have knocked out a whole lot of stuff, just like Bill Cosby and Weinstein. Even though you fight against the odds, they said them people did not have that proof, and they didn't have. They just went in and they made lemon. That's basically what they said. Them prosecutors made lemon out of lemonade, and they just needed Asriel to do what she did, and that's why they said, because Asriel was one of the important witnesses, Jane Doe, that they could have knocked her out of the box if they would have went in and put everything out there and thrown everything out there. They could have. We talked about the mother, the conversation between the mother and the daughter. His defense team could have been like, well, the DA, do y'all have the entire conversation, text message, between Asriel and her mother? Because we want to know the conversation, and this is not a conversation. Only thing you guys are showing us is some sweat and talking about him wanting me to be in sweat and stuff like that. So how we know that she wasn't coerced or this wasn't a planned text? We need to see there is a beginning of a conversation and an end of a conversation. If we're going to show this conversation, we need to see both parties engaging in a conversation. And the expert said they didn't argue that. That could have been an argument right there to have that stuff straight, because you want to have both the conversation. The only thing they did was put out one piece. Yeah, all of it. And they was like, they were shocked. Should I get the hell out? Yeah, I need my driving glasses. It was a lot of stuff they was breaking down, and I was looking at it too. I was like, well, a lot of us was saying that, and so one of the I think it was the California expert I talked to, he said, look like to me they should have been fishing on YouTube and on the social media page. He said that looked like to him. He said, look like y'all had y'all stuff together. I said, we did the best we could, and I said, we did the best we could to try to get as much information out as we could. And I said, but, I said, the thing is with that, we just had people not working together. Everybody wanted to be leaders. Everybody wanted to be important. Everybody wanted to be the first one to say this. Everybody, that person wanted to be the one to be right about everything and not just getting the information and just using everything that everybody said and put together to make it one, to make it important. And that's what we were lacking as his supporters. And that's the reason why the movement wasn't right, because we didn't get together as a group. Okay, we didn't get together as a group to help Robert in his situation. Everybody wanna, I ain't telling this person that, I ain't giving this person that, I'm not doing this. But if it's on the behalf of Robert that you say, um, even with the transcripts, when I spoke on the transcript, and I'm like, oh, I need the transcripts. I'm not trying to come on YouTube and read it, but I got some legal people that want to look it up, and I can't afford it. And I just said that, and I just want to see leaders in their leadership, and we did not have that. We didn't have leaders with leadership, and it is what it is. And I'm just gonna be real, because if we don't get it together, Robert gonna be sitting where he's sitting. Okay, and that's why I went a whole different route. I said, you know what? I'm going to some damn experts, because if I want my damn tooth pulled, I'm going to the dentist to get my damn tooth pulled. I'm going to an expert. And that's why I did what I did, because I need to hear from people, and I need them to give me, details, break stuff down, and what's important. Because, it's like everybody, just being foolish. Hold up, y'all. I'm sorry, somebody called. So y'all know I'm right. People don't want to hear it. People, and I don't want to, you know, bring anything back up, because I was trying to leave that back in yesterday years. But like my daddy told me, cause I'm gonna tell y'all, my dad and I had a debate for 21 hours. We had a 23-hour drive coming from California. And when I said that man and I had a damn debate, we had a debate. And I forgot my daddy was a drill sergeant. Hell, I'm crying at the same time, but my dad kept it damn real. He kept it real, and I understood him. But I stood firm, because he know I am I stood firm with him. I didn't back down. He know I wasn't backing down, because I had a drill sergeant to raise me, so I didn't back down. So it was 21 hours of debate, between two people in their deal. So speaking of that debate, it's about what happened. Let me see. I agree. We had plenty voices, but no leadership. No leadership. And let me tell you, give you a little bit of what my dad and I was talking about. And I would just, I don't know. I just be like mad at my dad. But my dad, he just tells the truth. He just tells the truth. But I'm like, oh my God, Dad, like, Mom, don't be saying that. I'm just crying and stuff. That ain't right. So he spoke on this, because I'm working on some other stuff too, you guys. He spoke on working on our youth. He said it is important. He said, because you got them grown people set in their ways, minds already made up, stubborn as a mule, and not willing to listen and learn. They set in their ways, and their ways are their ways. He said it's important to start working on our youth, our Black youth, and teach them everything while they have a fresh mind, and you can tell them things, and you can prepare them and get them ready to be leaders. Teach them leadership so they can be great leaders. And we don't have that right now. We don't have it in the church. We do not have leaders. We don't. Okay? Even with Al Sharpton and all them people, even with Greg, what's Greg, that dude? We don't, those are not leaders. They say they working with the double ACP and all that kind of stuff. You got Al Sharpton and them, they media whores. They only show up when it come down to damn meeting. So even with Farrakhan, like he talked to us about the white people. He said they were devils, and then he came back and he started getting on us like he's supposed to, saying what the men should do and need to do, and then he went back bashing them. But where are these leaders to teach you guys how to be fishermen so you can eat every day? Not let me give you a fish and feed you one time, but let me teach you how to fish so you can be a fisherman, so you can have food every day. Where are these leaders? Where are these leaders? So my dad, we talked about the youth and working with the youth, and that's what I'm working on as well. But I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm still not giving up on our older people. I said, because there's still people out there willing to want better in their lives. And he said, they stubborn. I'm telling you, they stubborn. He said, you got to put your energy into the youth. He said, we might be dead and gone. He said, but you better start with them kids when they born and make them great leaders. Okay? Make them great leaders. So, we talked about all this. I'm telling you, just so much. I'm gonna have to come back with a part 2. But I'm telling y'all, like, all this stuff is so great. Yeah, and so it's just a learning situation with you guys. So I'm gonna put it like this: don't waddle and make the situation that happened in the yesterday years your distraction again, because that was our learning process. We was learning. We have a lot of people that's stuck in their ways. We have a lot of distraction, but as Black people, you're gonna have to learn to speak up. And like my dad said, like, I'm sorry you don't want to hear this, but it has to be said, and you're gonna have to call out these Black people for when they doing something they shouldn't be doing. You have to call them out. You have to call them out. But when you don't dip it in the butt, it's gonna continue to happen. So when all this other stuff, as a whole, as a collective, when you have one fool in a meeting, and they acting a fool, and everybody else is on one accord, they gonna look like asses. They gonna either jump on that gravy train or jump their ass out of it. So as a collective, when something is not right, as a collective, and we know what we're aiming for and what we're doing, we have to do this as collective. But when you have people trying to make people have sides and have a person that like this person's information, but scared to even come in and say, hey, I'm here, and thank you for doing a great job, and letting these people know they're doing good, because they're afraid of a person that don't know anything about leadership. And you running behind people that's not experts, and you running behind people that are not leaders and know nothing about leadership. That's where you went wrong. And that's exactly what Robert Sylvester Kelly went wrong. But I'm not even, and people can say what they want to say. They say, oh, he's 50-some years old. I'm not even going to hold Robert, responsible for that situation. I'm not. I'm not. Because like I told the health expert, Robert jumped out of the death of his mother, because his mother passed away during the height of his career with men that wasn't men. No, with males that wasn't men. That's how I'm going to put that. With males that wasn't men. Oh my God, I'm trying to get over. So it's a lot, y'all. I swear. It's night. I'm in traffic now, so I cannot look down on any more of these notes. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all something else. That's what I jumped off. See, I jumped off subject reading y'all things, so I apologize. But I did want to throw that in while I was talking about canon. So now we have the prosecutors saying that Robert persuade, entice, and coerce these women. What is persuading, precising, and coercing someone? What is that? That's something the attorney said that they should have used in their closing arguments also, cross-examining the witness. When the prosecutor said that he enticed you, was trying to show enticement, coercion, and all that, and things like that, persuade, that's when, Kenneth, could have broke down saying, hey, so since we're talking about coercion, persuade, and things like that, can I ask you I need to ask you a question, Azriel Clary. So, how many times did you meet with the prosecutors? And then when she said, and he broke it down 1, 2 times, and all these, I don't recall. And then he finally get out of her that she was meeting with these people for 9 months or more, and showing the jurors that she was persuaded, she was coerced, she was in training to say what she's saying on this witness stand, because the prosecutors, all they want is a win. They don't care about a life, they care about a win. Even though judge might try to, if the judge and try to, strike it, he could have put in his closing argument. But they said when they were talking about all that, they could have used that for an example and saying, hey, pay attention. These people are reading stuff to her, saying, let me refresh your memory. And they're walking her through something. She's been meeting with them. Everything we asked her, she is, I don't recall. But if you have a great memory 5 years ago, you should have a great memory for from last week before that. So, stuff like that. He said that should have been broken down with that. And so, to let the in a closing argument say, so if we're saying that we're trying to persuade somebody, we're trying to entice somebody, we're trying to coerce somebody, and so y'all saying this is a law, then the prosecutors just broke the law, because that's all they did with their witnesses. And we know this. They didn't know they couldn't answer any of our questions. They couldn't recall anything, but somebody can remember 30 years back exactly what hotel, exactly what a studio, exactly what time it was, exactly the date, and our phone number back from 100 years ago. So who is coercing who, and who is persuading who? We have the DA persuading you guys, and we have the DA coercing them into a Tesla lie. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I just want y'all to know what I got out of it. It's a whole lot I can just break down, child. I'm telling you, folks broke down. but to his family. If y'all could just, if you don't trust me, hell, when I get this professional information, I will send it to y'all, and y'all can tell them the details of Robert. But I already know a lot of stuff. Y'all speak to certain people, and they can tell y'all that you can trust me because I'm not gonna tell people y'all information. I have not done it so far, and I'm not planning on doing it. Okay, so this is important. They don't understand. Also, listen, okay, while it's in my mind, nobody gotta tell a lot of us to do research or share information. We just do it. Those who you can lead will only follow the flock. Yeah, you shouldn't have to tell nobody to like, share. And I don't do it because I'm like, if this what y'all supposed to be doing, and y'all saying y'all supposed to be doing, do it. Y'all don't hear me saying it all the time. I did it today. I'm like, all right, let me say like, share, subscribe. But I'm, you know, we know, and I know when I do my lives, I understand they're long and people don't want to go through the whole thing. And even if you reach out to me and say, hey, and a lot of people has done that. And if you reach out to me and say, well, okay, it was a video and you was talking about this, and that, but it was too long. If you have time and you remember the time stamp on it, can you go back and look at it and tell me what time stamp, at least tell me the time stamp or chop off that part because I really want to share that. I don't mind doing that. I do not. Y'all know I don't. And when it's something that's gonna that's important, that's gonna help, and I don't mind the video being shared and shown with another YouTuber. If it's something that somebody doing just to be a bullshitter and just trying to be messy like they've been doing, no, you can't share nothing of mine. But if you doing sharing a video to get a point across and to help in a situation, I do not mind at all. You do not have to call me on it, okay? Because that's what people supposed to do. Ain't like nobody trying to get you like, oh, they trying to be still on somebody content. They just, oh no, if it's something that makes sense and you use it because there's some key points in there that's gonna help, you shouldn't mind. No, none of his supporters should mind that. None. They sit on. Well, I don't know nothing about that because I ain't gonna. I wasted 2 years of my damn life with the mess, thinking I'm doing the right thing by doing certain things. You know, just getting in there and and helping. And just eager to help. And I'm like, what the hell going on? So you live and you learn. Life is a life learning lesson. Like I said, we have not learned anything from this. Try to learn the law, and that's why I was telling people this is also something. Robert's situation is something to help all of us. But like my dad said, my dad don't. He's not biting his tongue. He said, "I'm just not going to lie to you. Our people are the worst people. We don't know how to get together and do things the right way." He said, look how them agents come in and work. Look how everybody else come as a together. And then he brought up about Africa. They're taking aid away from Africa. They over there acting a fool. Look at them Haitians. They over there, somebody trying to help them, and they over there kidnapping the people and stuff like damn fools. My daddy said, the truth is the truth. The truth hurt. You don't want to hear it, but you have to speak on it. You have to speak on it. And if people, they don't like on here because they don't want to hear the truth. It's boring to them, and all they want to hear is bullshit. And I don't want you kind of people over here any damn way. You stay where your bullshit at. You stay where your bullshit at, because real is real. Real is real, and you can't. And I was mad at my dad, and we had a debate all the way until we hit Louisiana, and I tell you, I was so heated. I was driving 90 miles per hour. And my dad he didn't fold, he didn't let up, but he sat there and broke it down about black people. He said, and he just said it. He said, them doors is open for us. Cause he go back to what they had to go through. And he told me this. He said, you know what? He said, I'm gonna tell you about ignorant black people. He said, I'm in there doing my homework. I'm at school doing my work. And because I finished my work fast and I gave it to the teacher and I was making good grades and stuff, they were laughing at me because I was smart. He said, these dumb idiots, blacks, picking at him because he was smart. He did his homework. He turned his homework like supposed to. He wasn't clowning. He was listening to the teacher. He was a good listener so he can make sure he do his work right. And they was laughing. He said black. And he said, I remember my mama and my daddy out in the cotton field. And they didn't have no education. But my father still was able to make sure we had a great life. And he said, you know what? He said it was the black man that put sugar in his tank to take away his business. He said it wasn't the white man, it was the black man that did it, and to take away my dad's business and to shut him down so he can get the business. He said it wasn't the white people. He said it was the black. And my daddy was just breaking a whole lot of stuff down to me. And I still say, well, daddy, and I said, Pop, listen. I said, still older people we can reach out to. I said, I'm not talking about the people stuck in their ways and ignorant. I said, but it's still people out there, that went to jail, paid for their sins that we still can fight for. And my dad said they need to earn their way out of prison. He said they need to earn their way out of prison. And so when he said earning their way out of prison, he said you have to prove yourself. When you get out of prison, you have to prove yourself to you. He said you can't get mad because if a person went out there and they did some bad and stealing all their lives, he said you can't get mad at a bank owner for not hiring this person come work in their bank and they've been thieving all their lives. He said we just have to confront ourselves with the problems we have as black people. So he said that's why I say education. We got to get these kids educated. We have to get them educated. They should pay attention to. Refreshing my memory on January the 6th, because hell, I don't remember. Like Jay, you the only one engaged in this. People they don't want to hear the truth. Like my daddy told me, he said, black people on that big red. What would you keep refreshing my memory, baby? But my dad told me this. My pops. He said, a lot of people not gonna pay attention to that because they don't want to listen to important things. And he said, no, he said, you see why even our people don't want to, give up on our people. He just was telling me a whole lot of stuff. Y'all, it was so much. It was just so much we talked about. And my cousin that went to prison for shooting a white guy. And, basically it was just a loss for my cousin because this white man, been picking at my cousin. I can't see, y'all. I got my driving glasses on. That's why I don't understand what y'all talking about. Oh, shit, y'all. I don't know. I can't see. I'm trying to look at this traffic, y'all. I got my driving glasses on now. I can't. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay, okay. I get you, girl. Y'all know I'm ahead. Y'all better put them full sentences in there for me, because that's what I would see. That's an example. That's an example, y'all. That's what the VAs do. They just give you a little bit. They don't give you the whole thing. Shit, throw you out. Shit, y'all gonna have to break it down, the beginning to the end with me, okay? Y'all know I'm slow over here. Hell, I'm slow. I need the whole damn sentence. Y'all better make it make sense to me. Hell, make it make sense. Welcome back to H-Town. Damn it. I'm back at H-Town. All this damn traffic. That's why I was telling my dad. I was like, look, Daddy. I'm like, he fussing about talking about LA. I'm like, Daddy. I'm like, come on now. What? This is not traffic. This is fucking traffic. They is jam packed and they still try to run over. In New York, easy breezy. Y'all, but we gotta get it together. Y'all better start calling these people out. Like, look, ain't nobody got time for that mess y'all got going on here. We on a mission. And if y'all don't want to if you don't want to get your ass off the pot and make sure you wipe your ass and flush the toilet when you leave. And use some spray when you get out, cause we don't want to even smell your funk when you leave up out of here. Y'all better learn. Wait a minute, hell. Y'all getting on my nerves. I can't. Y'all getting on my nerves. I can't see nothing. Y'all know I'm nosy too. Hell no, shit. Them people had all kinds of people in there. Look at the damn rainbow. The rainbows didn't need no leaders. They had all. They just put some. They just named them the alphabets. They put all the alphabets in their hair. They finna put Z up in their neck. X, Y, and Z gonna be up in there, and they showing all of us up. We being shown that and I just said, you know what, Robert Spencer Kelly, forgive us, please, cause we got idiots that's up in there. My dad said, get all them bad apples, get all them bad apples out of the situation. Shit. That was my daddy and I was talking about action. There is no movement without action. I tell you that. And he said when y'all get them bad apples out of that equation, watch how things go. If they're a distraction, get them out the way of it. Get them the hell out the way. Tell them to move around. Find something else to do. But we don't need you up in here with the bullshit. But like my cousin, this white man been picking at my cousin for years and years, trying to cut him with a knife, trying to hit him with a bat, And I'm telling my cousin, I'm like, you need to put all this on file. I said, because I feel like something's gonna happen. And so I even tried to get my cousin to move to Houston because I had a vision, and I told my cousin, and I was scared because I thought it was this white man. And I said, well, I said, this guy, I said, somebody was standing over somebody and they shot him in the head. And I thought it was, I thought it was the white guy standing over my cousin to shoot him in the head. But anyway, long story short, the white guy was driving back and forth with a gun and coming through there with a gun and saying that he was going to shoot my cousin's mother, my auntie. And he just was waving this gun, picking at my cousin. And so my cousin, what's this dude? What's up? He got a gun. And so this dude gets out. He finds my cousin. He gets out. And my cousin knew he had a gun, knew that he was waving that gun and pointing at him, saying he was gonna hurt the family. And my cousin was like, "Look, I'm gonna get his ass before he get me." And he was shooting at the dude. And that was 2 days before he was gonna move to Houston. But he went to jail. He went to prison. Um, he paid his debts to society. He's a great person, you guys. And those are the type of people I'm going to fight for. He gets out. He's on parole, and he is labeled as a felon. So now, my cousin trying to figure out what to do. I stayed in his ear. I told him just keep the faith. Don't let that felon situation be over your head to make you think that you can't do anything with your life. Just keep fighting. It might take a while. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So my cousin was in his neighborhood. So my cousin was in his neighborhood, and he was like, I'm pissed off because I have this felon over my head. I'm a felon now, registered, and I have this flag over my head. I can't get moving to a decent apartment. I can't move in a decent neighborhood, and this is where I have to live. So my cousin, oh shoot. So my cousin, what's that? So my cousin was outside because he said he wanted to be in a nice neighborhood. He said, but he said the neighborhood was in a bunch of thugs and all these different people making it impossible. So what he decided to do, because he said he didn't want no trash around him, he went out there and started picking up trash all in the neighborhood. He was on the highway around where he was living, picking up trash and stuff. And he said a car stopped and the car backed up. And so they asked him, like, called his name. It's like, what are you doing? And asked him, like, he said, that they was like, who made you do this? So they feel like we are not going to get out there. It don't look like we're supposed to get out there and make sure we pick up, trash because we want stuff to look nice. And so he told his probation officer that's who stopped, happened to pass by and see that. And he was like, nobody, ma'am. It's like, I just want to be in a nice neighborhood. I can't be in a nice neighborhood. So I don't want to be around no trash. I don't want all this trash around me. I have a family. I have a wife. We had a baby. I don't want my child growing up seeing it. So this woman went to the probation officer, went in and gave a good name for my cousin. And he always wanted to move. He wanted to move away from that gang area, drug infected area. And she allowed him to move to wherever he needed to move to better his life. And I kid you not, you guys, even though he got that flag over his head, my cousin doing great. Just like my other cousin went to jail for 8 years. My cousin owns real estate. He owns the Airbnb. He's flipping houses. He's doing whatever he needs to do to not get himself in that situation again. So I'm saying this to the people that's going through that. Don't let this law that these people putting out there make you think that you can, once you go to jail, you get out, you can't do better for your life. I'm gonna have to go out here and I'm gonna have to get the best way I can and end up back in prison. So remember, it can happen. I need y'all to know that, men and women. But anyway, we need to work on it 3 hours, y'all. Lord, I've been on here 3 hours. Damn, y'all. It take me 4 hours to get here. How fast was I driving? Oh, Lord, thank you for not having the police get my ass. But anyway, I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna go back and look at y'all questions, but I'm gonna come back on the live where I can show y'all some things that went down. What some parents actually doing in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I want to show you things that can be done. Stuff can be done if we want to do it. We put our minds to it as Black people and stop being, ignorant and trying to stop a movement because you just want attention and you want to be a bad apple. Things can be done. Things can be done. But reaching out to Robert's family, you guys, if y'all can help on this situation, it really can make a difference. It really can. It's a lot I just do my notes and I'll go back over this on what this back with. Peace and blessings to y'all. I made it back to Houston safely. I gathered some great information from these people. I'm working on some people, and I'll tell you about the rest of the stuff that I'm gonna have going on, and hope y'all be ready to jump on board. But I'm gonna put it like this: we ain't dealing with the bullshit because I went through that for 2 years, and I'm not even allowing it because this is too much work that's being done for me to allow anybody. I don't give a damn anybody to come in and sabotage it. I'm not gonna let it happen. Real talk. I'm not. So, like I said, once I get things going, I'll let you guys know. But I want y'all to know I did talk to some experts on some things, and I wanted people to be aware of it. You'll probably have somebody get on there and try to debunk it, but I don't give a damn. It's not you fighting for your damn life at all. And so shut the hell up and let these experts come in and evaluate Robert Sylvester killing. Okay? And his family, whatever information y'all have for these people, please share it because it's going to help Robert. And to his legal team, whoever you are, please make sure that's the first thing that y'all do to get it together. But it's a lot of stuff. We need to learn the laws. We need to know these laws, and we're working on that too. We're trying to get the churches because they're supposed to be leaders. Instead of y'all taking this money and always wanting money and stuff, invest that money into these into the youth education, and also use y'all platform. I'm talking to the preachers now. Use y'all platform to educate people with the voting that's coming up, with the schools, with the laws. Even if new laws come up, have some attorneys to come and speak. Let people know what these laws are about. Have a day where legal teams come in and talk to people about different laws and what needs to be changed in these laws, so people can understand them better. What new laws came into your state, or and stuff like that, so people can be aware of the law. So they can be aware of the law. So I'm working on trying to make consensual sex one age statewide. That'll take away some of the drama. That's what I'm working on as far as the consensual sex thing. And they're trying to have everybody have their own individual, laws in their states and stuff, and make it kind of complicated. We gotta dig into that because we gotta smooth things out so things can be understood better. But remember, the law is made to do what it's doing. So if y'all want to change laws, and the doors has been open, our people open the doors for us. And if we don't want to walk through them doors, then just stay away from me. But the doors are open. The doors open for education, all that. We just have to walk through them doors because they open them doors for us. So whatever y'all want to do, So thank you guys for riding with TBD as I try to break down stuff as best way I could. I want to go look at some. No, I ain't gonna have time to look at no videos. I'm at a light. Um, I'll break all this stuff down when I can break it down the right way. So after tonight, you guys, I'm gonna do my best. Y'all know I'm country as hell. Sometimes I'll be trying to multitask, be thinking about a whole bunch of stuff. Try to come on here and stay on topic. Um, and make sure I have everything written down so I can stay on topic. Make sure I don't let y'all distract me, even though I love y'all. Make sure y'all do not distract me. I appreciate my mods for coming on the channel. I appreciate people that came on the view the what I'm talking about. Um, I am not the type of person who worry about how many people watching, um, who's watching, um, and things like that. I'm not worried about numbers. Like I was telling my dad, I'm not gonna give up. I want to help as many um, people of color as I can, starting with my kids, my glam babies, um, and we're working on something else. And I hope it works, you guys, because we want the kids to look forward to something. And we want to challenge, the rich or whomever to join in this. And that's like giving, even though they need to have understand that education is very important, but we want them to get something out of it too. Like if a good grade, be able to tell them, hey, and now if you keep these grades up and you keep a good your grade level, keep that up there. I'm gonna follow you all the way through. I'm gonna give you, bonuses, and then when you get out, when you get ready to graduate, give you a scholarship so you go to college. And I just feel like if we can do that, and they be like, I got something to look forward to. Like this will help, our people that can't afford to go to college and stuff like that. You guys, you know, people that can't afford it, I think that will help. So we want it's called adopt a student. Take a student and adopt that student, and encourage that student, to with the to do good in school, to encourage them and let them know, we talking about the ones that can afford it, to adopt a student and help that student grow and give them something forward to graduating and going to college or whatever they need to do to better their lives. So we just work. It's a lot of stuff we working on. I just don't have notes on what I'm doing. I might not be saying it in the right way that y'all can understand it, but that's what we're trying to do as far as the student. Um, I'm gonna show y'all a video tomorrow, but I want to give a shout out to those dads. I want to give a shout out to those fathers in Shreveport, Louisiana. You have the kids afraid to go to school. You got these hard knocks fighting in the school, kids getting beat up, the kids recording it, putting it on live, trying to make it trendy and trying to make it look like this is something that's fun and is supposed to happen. So we have fathers taking shifts, fathers that work and they work different times, different shifts, and they go out there to that school. They watch them kids walk in there. They stand in the hallway, make sure they get into them classes. And don't you know, those students are happy. They're excited about fathers being there, and they call them dad duty. They got the t-shirt says dad duty, and they ain't playing with them. They like, you going to school, you're gonna get an education. Now those are leaders, okay? They used the little skills that they had to stop that mess from going on in their school, so them kids can go to school and learn and make sure that they get their answers in those classes. That's what you do. And start from there. Y'all have a blessed